What's good with y'all, man? It's been a little grip. Don't matter. We back to it. Been doing a lot of TikTok stuff lately, but got a different little setup now. But yeah, looking to get back into the YouTube podcast, whatever you want to talk it, analytics. That's what I've been doing on TikTok. But today's gonna be pretty quick. Not pretty quick, but today's gonna be pretty straightforward. We're looking at the NBA trade deadline as it is over as of 3 o'clock today. So the trade deadline is over. There's been a lot of trades that have happened up until this deadline, but as of like the last month or so, last few weeks, we've seen a lot of trades. So I'm gonna look at every single trade like I do per usual around these times. Free agency, I do the same thing. So I'm about to pull up every single trade that has happened. I'm gonna just do whatever popped up. I'm gonna just do NBA Trade Tracker. This is usually pretty good on ESPN. They usually have everything that you need when it comes to trades or signings. This is a good spot. So, today is February 5th, so we know a lot of trades have happened as of now. But we're gonna start Trae Young trade. I guess we can start there. Yeah, I'll start with the Trae Young trade since everything else is up until last week. And obviously, I'm gonna get my analysis on what I think, who I think won the trade, and what I think this player will bring to the team, or whatever happened to that player if they got waived or whatever. Hopefully, they show me. But we're gonna start with the Trae Young trade. Washington Wizards get Trae Young, of course. Atlanta Hawks get Corey Kispert. CJ as well. CJ McCollum as well. That's a guy who I've been a Trae Young guy his whole career. Of course, his defensive inability has been something that a lot of people talk about when it comes to his career. But the fact that Trae Young got traded to this young Wizards roster who did a lot of moves that I'm going to get into later. But Trae Young on this team, now that we know that Anthony Davis is there, they got Alex Sarr. They got Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George. They got a lot of young pieces to build around. And I think Trae Young's playmaking ability will make everybody on that team better. It's just the idea of his availability on the court. Is he available? Same thing for Anthony Davis. But Trae Young has been one of those guys as of late, knowing that he wanted to get traded though. If something ain't going right, he gonna sit out. And me as an NBA fan, I'm not really the biggest fan of that. But like, get your bag. That's how it should be. Get your bag. But yeah, Trae going to that team, I think he's gonna make them a better team. I'm not gonna say they're automatic contenders with this roster due to the youth and the inexperience on this team in the playoffs. But him and AD have been there. And then CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert have already been playing on the Hawks. And I'm going to just pull up NBA standings for some teams right now. Like a team like this, NBA standings. Like a team like the Hawks, like Jalen Johnson has emerged as the guy there. But seeing that they got Kuminga too, like a lot of stuff has happened so far in this NBA trade deadline. So, yeah, currently the Hawks are in the play-in per usual. They always somehow end up in the play-in. But, yeah, man, CJ McCollum. We know what CJ's able to do. Corey Kispert, really good shooter, 6'7", tall guy, can shoot the ball. Wasn't really being utilized as he should have been in Washington because they sucked. So what's the point of trying to use a guy who can shoot the ball when you're not even trying to win basketball games? Okay, so we're good to the next trade. I feel like who won this trade? I think the Wizards won that trade. You get one of the better point guards in the league, one of the better 20 and 10 guys, one of the guys who can average 20 points a game, 25 points per game, 10-plus assists. We know about the defense, but Trae Young's one of the best passers in basketball. We don't care about the defensive inability because he is small. So that came with everything. All right, we're going to go to this 3-team deal between the Cavs, the Kings, and the Bulls. So the Cavs go and get Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis, send DeAndre Hunter to the Sacramento Kings, and then the Bulls get Dario Saric and 2 second-round picks for the future. And see, these are earlier trades, so I should have been on these, man. I've been lacking, not gonna lie. But Schroeder and Keon Ellis, great pickups. Seeing what they've done now, going to get Harden, that bench unit. Even like a Keon Ellis, he could start at the 2. Not the 2. Donovan Mitchell exists. I was going to say, but because of his defensive ability. But Dennis Schroeder, one of the best role point guards we've seen, like as of my time watching basketball. Just really good basketball player. A guy you want to have on your team, but a guy you hate to play against. Keon Ellis has evolved that 3-ball for sure. Elite defender. Every team needs that. DeAndre Hunter, sadly, they're choosing Jalen Tyson over him, and that's I'd be pissed if I was DeAndre, but Jalen Tyson has been more efficient, and he's just as good a defender that they see in him. They see the potential in him to be better than DeAndre Hunter is, and do I think he is better than DeAndre Hunter? No, but do I think he fits that system better? Yes, because he's more of a catch-and-shoot guy. He does all the little things out there. Not saying DeAndre Hunter didn't, but DeAndre Hunter is way more of a score threat. He can score the ball multiple more ways, and he's just as good as a defender. It was just the fact that it wasn't working out with him in the starting lineup to start the season. So seeing him go back and forth from starter to bench, it's just not good. And he's going to the Kings. I don't know what the Kings got going on over there. And then Dario Saric to the Bulls. He got flipped, so he's not really going to affect that team at all. This next trade is with the Blazers. And I'm sorry. This one is between the Blazers and the Hawks, and they give Vit Creasy and then Duop Reith. So Blazers get Vit. Vit's actually a really good player. I'm not saying he's a crazy player, but like Vit, he's underrated when it comes to the league. When Trae Young was initially out, he was having really good games. Hasn't been shooting the 3 since being traded to Portland, but he was shooting the 3-ball very well in Atlanta. Good shooter, Duop Reith. Another big that the Hawks get, but now that we know that Kristaps is gone, Onyeka Okongwu will be the center for that team, and he's waited his turn. He deserves it. This is one of the bigger trades. This is where stuff starts to get spicy. Memphis Grizzlies traded Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz. And so the trade formally includes Kyle Anderson. He's back in Memphis. Walter Clayton Jr., Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. 3 firsts for Jaren. And then Utah got Jaren, John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr., who's one of the better passers off the bench, or one of the better passing wings we've seen this season as well. I talked about this on my TikTok, not extensively, but like in decent detail, because TikToks, if you want to get the interaction, videos can't be too long. So mine was like 2 minutes. But so Kyle Anderson back, Walter Clayton getting shipped off this early in his career. I think Walter Clayton has potential to be one of the better guards in the NBA. His ability to shoot the ball, score the ball, be a playmaker, be a rebounder. He could be one of the better all-around guards in the league. And to see him go to Memphis, where I wouldn't say Memphis has been like one of the spots where guards go and do bad, but Memphis has had a good track record of younger guards in the league. We saw Tyus Jones over there. Scottie Pippen Jr. before injury was playing really well behind Ja, and when Ja was out, he was playing really well. So, yeah, Kyle Anderson, we know what he's able to do. Defender, can space the floor, slow-mo. He's slow, but he does a lot of things on the floor that a team needs at given times and games. Let me fix this mic real quick, see if that'll help me. It should be good. But and then Taylor Hendricks, another young wing that they got rid of. I wouldn't say that's a terrible move. Georges Niang, he's been a trade piece. Saw him get traded to the Celtics. So he's been moved around. Then Jaren Jackson, Conchar, Jock Landale, Vince Williams. I'm gonna just talk about the main guys. But John Conchar, Jock Landale, he got flipped. Vince Williams is gonna be a good rotational piece for them in Utah, because they're about to ramp up come draft time. So, yeah, that's going to be good to see for them to get him. He's a good defender. Like I said, good playmaker on the wing. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., defender. We know what Jaren's able to do on the court. He can score the ball. People hate on him because he's a big and does a rebound, but guess what? We don't care. Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the better power forwards in basketball. He won Defensive Player of the Year. That's the type of guy you want on your team if you're trying to continue to stop rebuilding. Like, the Jazz have been rebuilding for how long? I don't know. But look, the idea that they get a guy in Jaren Jackson Jr. who will be a part of their future is interesting to me because he can defend, he can space the floor, he can score the ball. And I think the main thing for him is how he fits into this offensive scheme, this defensive scheme. Like I said, he's a good defender, good help side, on ball, whatever you want to say. But I like him in Utah. People say they didn't like what Memphis got in return. It's a questionable trade for them, but for Utah getting Jaren Jackson Jr., I know they got 3 first-round picks though, so it's not questionable in return for Memphis. But yeah, they got Jaren in Utah, so he's probably gonna slide to that 4 spot. I think they should start Keontae, whoever they want to start, the 2. Or you could start, hey, you got a point guard who just had 22 assists in Isaiah Collier, one of the better young playmakers in the league. You could play him at the 1. Keontae George is really a natural 2 guard, in my opinion, since he's been in high school. Keontae George has been a natural shooting guard. I feel like he has been, but he's adapted the ability to be a playmaker, and that's been good for his career trajectory so far. But I feel that if you run Isaiah Collier, you run Keontae George, score Jordan Clarkson, question mark people. Y'all don't see it? Okay. Lauri Markkanen's a 3. He can be your 3. You can run Jaren Jackson at the 4. You can run Yusuf Nurkic at the 5 for the rest of the season. But if they want to tank, don't run that lineup. That's me coming from the idea of, do you want to win? And if I'm the Jazz, I don't know what their front office wants, but that's that lineup that you should be running if you want to win. They're not making a playoff push, so they might as well keep tanking. Next. Literally the next day, well, not the next day, but not too long after getting traded to Chicago, here's that 3-team trade. The Bulls, the Pistons, and the Wolves. So the Wolves got money. They got $10 million in cash considerations. I know they were going to get Giannis, but obviously that ship sailed for every team in the NBA, as Giannis is still a Milwaukee Buck. So the Bulls get Mike Conley from the Wolves. They get Jaden Ivey from my Pistons. Pistons get Kevin Huerter, Dario Saric, and a first-round pick, which could be valuable. We don't know. It's a swap with Minnesota, so it's like it's whatever. We're gonna be one of the better teams in the league for time. And I can't be saying we as a journalist, but the Pistons are going to be one of the better teams in the league for time. And and then, like I said, Wolves get money. So, Bulls are overhauling on guards. I don't know why. But, yeah, that's what they're doing, I guess. Pistons get Kevin Huerter, who we know. If you've been watching basketball, you know Kevin Huerter can shoot the ball. He can shoot the cheddar. But as of this season, he's averaging 10 points per game. He hit that game winner the other on D-Rose night. He's not shooting the 3 very well this year. That's one thing that people questioned. But I feel like he's running with Josh Giddey, who's just as, I'm not going to say he's just as good as a playmaker as Cade Cunningham. So it's going to be questionable to see how Kevin Huerter fits in the Pistons scheme. Pistons like to run. Pistons got good shooters. Duncan Robinson's there. So I don't think that questions anything in the lineup because Pistons still got to get rid of somebody. But Dario Saric, stretch, he can shoot the 3. I don't know if he'll see a lot of minutes, but he could see a lot of minutes depending on how he plays. It's really defense because Paul Reed, Stu, they guard. Dario, he can shoot the ball, be a stretch, but like I said, there's always a question of defense in basketball. Can you defend? You will get minutes, even if you can't defend, but can you score? Can you do something? And then, Bulls get Mike Conley, Jaden Ivey, I already mentioned. Mike's going to be there for mentoring. I don't think the Bulls are trying to win anything as of Now, we know what the Bulls are, play-in team every year. But and then Ivy, man. Sucks to see Ivy go. Me as a guy who's been a fan of the Pistons my whole life, seeing Ivy, he was on that trajectory to be really good guard. And that injury really derailed what could have been because I saw when he got back, I was like, yeah, he's not 100%. I was like, Jaden Ivey's not 100%. But the thing is, it's like, if you love the game of ball, like these NBA players do, they love basketball. Like, this is what they live. They live and breathe the game. Like, so like if you're a guy like Ivy who's like cleared to play, you're gonna play because it's like your team is contending and you want to be a part of that contention. But I don't feel like he was there 100% mentally or physically, and that hurt his stock because before he got hurt, we were questioning if he was gonna get traded for Devin Booker. Like, he was gonna be a big, like, if that would have happened then when he was healthy, which I didn't want to get rid of him or Asar, we would have had to it would have been tough because now with his injury, we still don't see him at 100%. So we don't see the same burst, we don't see the same quickness, and we don't see the same player ultimately that we saw from Jaden Ivey a couple seasons ago. So yeah, man, sucks, man. But I wish Jaden Ivey the best for sure. This one, the Chicago Bulls trade Nikola Vucevic in the second round pick for Anthony Simons and a second round pick. Now, I said this again. I covered this one on my TikTok. I covered the last couple on my TikTok as well. But this is more so of a Celtics thing of you get rid of a Porzingis, you get rid of an Al Horford, two guys who are what? If you know ball, they are stretch bigs. And when you look at this team that they have now, I'm pretty sure the Celtics, I'm going to just do the Celtics starting five as of before this trade because there was Neemias Queta, Luka Garza was getting minimum. Now it's Nikola Vucevic. Like I said, Neemias Queta. So going to get Vucevic, who is one of the better stretch bigs, and he's a really underrated defender because people don't tend to see him as a defender. They're like, oh, he's undersized, he's old. Well, of course. Yes, Vuce is 35. So that goes to my second point. Vucevic going to this team is it's more of a win now. He's 35 years old, still producing though. The way he plays basketball, he could play more years because Vucevic has never been reliant on athleticism, but more so of technique and skill. And he's a really good skilled big man who can shoot the ball. And you keep a job doing that. And you can defend. He's averaging 17 and 9 on 50, 37, like as a center. That's good numbers. Like 37.5 from three as a big. A lot of teams would love to have that. And for the Celtics to go and get him, that's, like I said, it's a win now. Like, you're the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Jaylen Brown's having he's having his best season as a Celtic, and when it comes down to it, it's like you got an off season. Jason Tatum will be back, and then it's time to go right back to the playoffs and go for another championship. This is a great trade from Brad Stevens, in my opinion. I know you're losing Anthony Simons, but I just felt like Anthony didn't fit the mold of a Celtic player. He's a really good scorer. He's very streaky, but the fans were already not rocking with him because of what? His defensive ability. The Celtics, like, Joe Mazzulla is a preacher of defense, and I don't think he wanted to get rid of Anthony. But the idea of defense in your game is something that you shouldn't have to adapt to when you get to Boston. Like, when they got Jrue Holiday, when they got Derek White, those two guys were already defenders that they wanted to have in the backcourt. See, Peyton Pritchard, he's just scrappy. He don't have to be the best defender on the floor. He's going to pick you up 94 feet. He's going to guard you. And that's why they keep that type of guy. And that's why he's having one of the best seasons of his career. The best season of his career. And I think, like I said earlier, Bulls, they're overhauling on guards. I don't know why. I saw something today that their biggest, tallest guy is 6'9", one center on the roster. Shucks. They might be tanking. This trade was right after I said I was done making TikToks for the other day, 2 days ago. The Los Angeles Clippers trade James Harden for Darius Garland and a second round pick. This is also on the TikTok. I don't have to keep saying this. This is going to YouTube. So, but yeah, man. James Harden, another new destination. One of the best scorers of all time. One of the best playmakers of all time. One of the best guards we've ever seen in the game of basketball. Darius Garland going to the Clippers to see a new start. He's still young, all-star caliber player. Can get you 20 and 10. Very crafty. Just has to stay healthy, and I think that's why they got rid of him. It's the health, and it's crazy because James Harden exists, and James Harden's never been the healthiest player in the NBA. But again, James Harden wants to win, and Darius Garland has been out. So if I'm the Cavs, it's like Harden's averaging 25 and 8 this year, and he's old, and he's still producing at this level. Not to say that Garland can't, but we have not seen that production from a younger Garland. So going to get an older guy in James Harden, it's not crazy. It's not crazy at all. So, yeah. I think Garland will bring a new look to that team because he is flashy. He's a good playmaker. He can score the ball in multiple ways. He's just younger, and like if you're a Clippers fan, I wouldn't be distraught or mad that we traded for Darius Garland. Now, later in this video, I would be mad as a Clippers fan because you got rid of your big man. But Garland's a new start. He's younger, can still develop. Him and Harden are both cones on defense, so there's nothing about the defensive side of the ball. But, yeah, man, I feel like this is a pretty solid trade. I saw it was developing before it happened, so I was expecting it to go through because I saw it was like developing. They could do James Harden for Darius Garland straight up, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, that's not crazy to think. So yeah, solid trade. I'm gonna say what I think for Harden on the Cavs right now though. Harden going to the Cavs is going to enhance them. The Cavs made some moves in this before the trade deadline to push them to where it's like, if the Cavs want to make a run, it's now, and they can make that run. You go and get James Harden, who's 25 and 8 a game. He might take a step back because Don is a 30-point per game. But like when you're James Harden on a team, we've seen James Harden become the ball dominant guy, and if he's your point guard, he's going to have the ball. It's going to be interesting to see that dynamic between him and Donovan Mitchell, who are two of the more ball dominant guards in the NBA. But I think the thing that helps the Cavs out the most with this trade is the idea of James Harden being one of the best passers when it comes to lobs in the league. If you look at that lineup, it's going to be James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. Now, those two are 2 7-footers who we have not seen benefit from somebody like James Harden who can do the things that James Harden does, which is what? James Harden will make you millions of dollars because he can make you a lob threat. James Harden will have Evan Mobley, who's been questioned as why hasn't he been a 20-point? Well, he will become a 20-point per game scorer with James Harden as his point guard. Pick and rolls. Just watch it. The way that James Harden is able to manipulate the game of basketball is beyond capacity. Like, you really have to be that gifted at the game of basketball to play the game like Harden does. And they are going to be enhanced because James Harden will make you an elite lob threat. We just saw Jarrett Allen have 40 the other night. Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley are about to feast off of James Harden, and he loves doing this. James Harden is one of the best point guards / shooting guards we've seen in the game because he's that good of a scorer. We haven't seen that many guys that are that good of scorers but that can manipulate the game like that when it comes to passing either. I think the Cavs are going to make a run about that time. Now, this one is crazy. Anthony Davis ain't even been on the Mavs for a year and a week. He got traded a year and 2 days later. So he goes to the Wizards. AD, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, first-round pick from OKC from 2026, this upcoming draft, 2030 pick, top 20 protected, and 3 second-round picks. This trade, I wasn't expecting it. This is one of those ones that was kind of out of left field. We saw AD on the trade block. We just didn't know where he was going to go. And I never expected it to go to I never expected him to go to Washington. See, AD's one of my favorite bigs of all time. He might be my favorite big of all time. I don't know. But I always rock with AD. And I just got to sit there and talk to people about the fact that he's not healthy. And I can't. But when it comes to him on the court, AD on the court is the I'm top 5 big man in the league. I say top 3. I think AD, when he's healthy, is the best two-way big in ball because of his ability to stretch the floor and score in multiple ways. People be like, nah, it's Giannis. Healthy AD is just a different beast. The idea of Giannis is like, yeah, but AD it's the jumper, man. That's all it is. And he's a better defender than Giannis to me. The fact that AD doesn't have a defensive player of the year is crazy. He just has a better bag than Giannis to me. It's just he's just never healthy. And he's always been overshadowed by somebody else, especially since getting to LA. But he's still putting up numbers. But I digress. Trading Anthony Davis to the Wizards, if he can stay healthy whenever him and Trae Young play, because I don't think they should be playing this season, might as well set him out for the rest of the year. Because next season the retool with the draft should be interesting. But yeah, you get him, you get Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum, some solid guards who can be some mentors to the young guys and be in the rotation. Like D'Lo's gonna play, Hardy's gonna play, Exum questionable. But the question is, why the heck don't the Wizards give up anything else? I mean, not the Wizards, but why don't the Mavs get anything else? They get 2 first rounds and 3 second rounders. Okay, that's good. But you need a player. Like, Anthony Davis is still valuable, bro. Anthony Davis, like I said, is one of the best bigs in basketball. And to only get Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Random, and Marvin Bagley, but you get the picks, though. I guess that's where it sets it off. But I'm still questioning because Chris Middleton's aging. AJ Johnson, potential. Malachi Random, people don't like, but I'm still a fan of Malachi Branham's game. Can still be very good contributor. Crazy that the Spurs still don't have him. And then Marvin Bagley, who's still solid. But you're giving up Anthony Davis, man. I saw the post. I was like, yeah, man. The Dallas Mavericks turned the Luka Doncic into Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson. Like, it's insane because that's what it is. But I think AD, Trae Young, Alex Sarr, like that team's gonna be crazy if they can stay healthy, and if the young guys like Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, Bilal, Alex Sarr continue to develop, which I think they will, and then in the draft they can still get somebody who can come in ready to play because this draft got pro-ready guys who don't need time to. Yeah, this draft does. So if they keep tanking, but AD is gonna be a lob threat, gonna be one of the better bigs. Like I said, he's going to teach Alex Sarr a lot, though. And I feel like that's going to be great for Alex Sarr. Come back to this when Alex Sarr is great. Dang, there's a lot of trades still. I'm going to try to speed through some of these that aren't as crazy. This Jared McCain to the Oklahoma City Thunder for a 2026 first rounder from Houston, 27 second rounder, and 2 2028 second round picks. Giving up Jared McCain for picks is crazy to me. He's still valuable. He's still on the trajectory because he was hurt. So people question like, oh, he's not as good. He's gonna fit into this team very well, especially with SGA being out right now. He's gonna play minutes. He's gonna get back to that, and I just feel like he fits the vibe of this team as well. Like, whole team is just always positive. I know the media, including me. We like to criticize this team, but this team's good, bro. Just got to keep hating from a distance. But adding Jared McCain to this team that has high vibes, TikTok type team, it'll be good. And he'll play valuable minutes. He'll be efficient. And once he gets back to 100%, we don't know what the heck he could be doing out there. And the future holds a lot for that team because they're all still young, which is insane to me. All right, we got this trade. Chicago Bulls, Colin Sexton, Ousmane Deng, and 3 second round picks. That's who they get. Charlotte Hornets get Mike Conley, Kobe White. So Mike Conley wasn't even in the Bulls. I don't know why I was talking about it. That's what happens when you start from the beginning and you don't. You should really start from the top, but it's okay. Mike Conley, Kobe White, second round pick, and then the Thunder get Mason Plumlee, which is very interesting. More big men to come off the bench for this team. And Mason Plumlee's still good, but he got waived, so he not playing. But so Mike Conley, Kobe White is going to be really good for this Hornets team, who is literally one of the hottest teams in the NBA, if not the hottest team in the East. As of right now, Con Knipple, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, all been playing really good basketball. And they're looking to make a playoff push. And they have a negative record, but the East is doo-doo this season. And like I've been saying, it's wide open. Pause. Yeah, they get Mike Conley, Kobe White. Mike Conley's going to be a vet. He's going to play minutes if they need. But Kobe White added to this team. I'm telling you, bro, Hornets. Watch out for the Hornets, man. That's all I got to say. Colin Sexton to the Bulls. Colin's a dog. Ousmane Dieng, he got traded 3 times in 24 hours. Crazy work. But Colin Sexton's going to bring energy. I don't know what the heck the Bulls lineups are going to look like. They just did themselves in. That's all I got to say. Chris Paul got traded, man. He got dismissed from the team. So the Nets get Ochai Agbaji. Clippers get draft rights to a player, Vanja Marinkovic. Toronto Raptors get Chris Paul. CP3 to the Raps. Need that veteran leadership, that mentorship, because the Clippers ain't want to hear CP3 try to be a player coach, but the dang Raptors are, because them boys are young and they want to be great and they're hungry and they are coming for the top of the East over time. They're going to be contenders for sure. And adding Chris Paul to this team, having him there to try to help and mentor a guy like Emmanuel Quickley is going to be tremendous for that team. Ochai Agbaji to the Nets. The Nets are trash, but Ochai Agbaji, that's crazy they traded my guy. I used to love Ochai when he was in college at Kansas. Really good wing, can shoot the ball, defend. Seeing him on the Nets, I don't know what they're going to do. The Nets are, like I said, the Nets suck, bro. Crazy MPJ still stuck in purgatory. Should have been on the Pistons. Shams. Shout out to him. All these hypotheticals. So we got this. The Hawks get Jock Landale, 3-team trade. Utah Jazz got Lonzo, but he did get waived, and money. And the Cavs get 2 second-round picks. Not much here. Lonzo did get waived. Let's see who picks him up. I hope the Hornets, but they got Kobe White. They're too guard-heavy. I feel like Lonzo can still benefit a team. I feel like if he go to a team like the Rockets, who need a point guard, Lonzo can still manipulate the game and be a good passer. Jock Landale is going to be solid for them. Even I don't know if he's going to play. But, yeah. From yesterday, Tyus Jones, 2 second-round picks to the Hornets for money to the Magic. Magic getting money off that trade, getting some money. You need money as a franchise, and if you could get money off your hands, it'll always be great as a franchise because you never want to go over any aprons. Luxury to all those aprons. You don't want to touch them. So Tyus Jones going to the Hornets, like I said, hottest team in the East. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. They're still looking good, so adding another guy who's played in the league for some time now and knows how to be. Tyus Jones is a winner. He won in college. Been a really good point guard his entire career. So, just been a bench guy. This one right here. Let's go. Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis. Kuminga. Steve Kerr, I saw a post earlier talking about how that whole situation was weird. Steve Kerr, be quiet, bro. You don't like him. Just say you don't like Jonathan Kuminga. You don't want him to be great. Like, we know he wanted out. But the dude, he's talented, bro. He's going to go to this Hawks team. Shoot. Start him. Start him at the 4. Jalen Johnson at 3. Or vice versa, whatever. Like, let's go to the Hawks real quick. Hawks starting lineup. Let's go to the Hawks starting lineup real quick. Really quick, because I gotta get this. I'm at 35 minutes. Got a few minutes, but we grateful. We back. This is what I do, man. I talk ball and I take it serious. Kuminga is slated to come off the bench, but because he's hurt. But Risa Shea, questionable his spot. But Kuminga, we know what he's able to do. Good defender, high flyer, athletic. Jumper still questionable, but it's gotten better. And he just knows to play the game. Buddy Hield, shooter. Kristaps Porzingis to the Warriors, though. Yeah. That's a good move for them. I still feel like they don't got the pieces, though. Golden State, they got Steph. And people have been thinking that Steph is all you need. But even in that 2022 run, he was not the only person on that team. If you look back, he had the help. He was surrounded by the pieces. I'm not saying he had another star. Andrew Wiggins was an all-star. But Steph had the pieces around him that fit his play style to win. And I don't think they're there right now. But getting a guy like Porzingis, him and Al Horford are back together. 2 stretch bigs. Porzingis is going to be a defender. He just got to stay on the court and get healthy. That's it. But him and Steph Curry pick and roll, pick and pop. Could be scary. And then Trayce Jackson-Davis to the Raps for a second-round pick. Nothing much. Raptors adding more size and athleticism to that young team that has a lot of size and athleticism. But they really don't have the size. That's why they traded for him. They're getting some more size to add. And Trayce Jackson-Davis has been a solid big in his young career. Knicks trade Yabusele to the Bulls for Dalen Terry. Not much. It's a trade. Dalen Terry's still promising to me. I've been a fan since he was in high school. Gershon Yabusele hasn't been playing the best basketball. Not much to say with that trade. This trade's pretty big. Ayu Dosunmu for Rob Dillingham, Leonard Miller, and 4 second-round picks. Now, with Mike Conley gone, you have Ayu, who is averaging 15 points per game, shooting 40+% from the three-point line. A really good defender. He could be a really good off-guard to Ant. And I think that's for sure an upgrade. I know you trade Rob Dillingham. And one thing about Rob, I love Rob, but it's just his college tape is just so crazy to me. It's just the fact that in the NBA, the level of offense meeting offense, and offense equaling more production in college because you don't have to be a defender. That doesn't really matter in the league unless you are a Trae Young who's just that good and that talented offensively to where you don't have to worry about playing defense. And I'm not saying Rob Dillingham can't or won't be that. I still have belief in him. It's just the undersize, and then the team like the Wolves, who Ant Edwards has to have the ball in his hand, and that's how Rob Dillingham was at Kentucky. Give him the ball, he gonna work, but you can't do that to Ant Edwards. So that's just my take. And another guard going to the Bulls, bro. But Ayu Dosunmu, that's a great pickup to me. He could be a good, like I said, a good off guard to Ant. Ant gonna be more ball dominant. It's not like he wasn't, but yeah. This trade, all right, we got a few more, and then I'm gonna get out of here. But this is just my evaluations. Luke Kennard for Gabe Vincent in the second round pick. I was joking earlier because I saw the graphic. It was like LeBron, Luka, AR, and Luke Kennard, and I literally went in the comments and I was like, I love Luke Kennard. I loved him on the Pistons, but all I see on this post is 4 cones on defense. Kennard can shoot the skin off the ball, though. We know what he's able to do. Gabe Vincent going to the Hawks. Lakers fans pushed him out of there, bro. I'm not saying he ain't good, but they got rid of him. Lakers fans are delusional, bro. If they don't like a player, they gonna gang up and get rid of him. Eric Gordon, second round pick to the Grizzlies for another second rounder to the Sixers. Not much. EG, a vet. He's gonna be a veteran presence on that team. And think about EG. He can still produce. Put him in a position. Watch. He will produce. Solid pickup. Still got Ja. Got rid of Jaren though, so that's gonna be a question of How does this team look? I don't got a few more. I got a decent amount more, but we good. So this is a 3-team trade. Bucks, Suns, Bulls, Nick Richard to the Bulls, Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey to the Suns, Nick Richards, Nigel Hayes Davis, and Ousmane Dang to the Bucks. Wait, what? Bruh, whoever is on this, whoever did this on ESPN has Nick Richards in this trade twice. So yeah, Nick Richards is on the Bulls, and I think it's just Nigel Hayes Davis and Ousmane Dang. I saw this trade. So you get Nigel Hayes, Ousmane. Nigel's since getting back to the league, I don't know, man. Bucks, I don't know. I thought they were blowing it up with Giannis, but Suns getting Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey, great pickups. Suns been sleeper playoff team, play in, whatever you want to say. And then Bulls get Nick Richards, so they do get a big man that they do need. And Nick Richards is solid, so I like that trade for them. Jose Alvarado for Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks and money. Alvarado in New York is about to be nuts, bro. He matches the energy. He's going to be a pest. And they're going to use him. Mike Brown will utilize Jose Alvarado. He matches that energy. Dalen Terry to the Pelicans, young guy getting moved. I still believe, even if they don't Dalen. He had a guy in DeMar DeRozan mentoring him, teaching him the way. So the work will show. Hunter Tyson to the Nets with a second-round pick, and the Nuggets get another second, so nothing much there. This trade is whoa. This was a whoa to me when it popped up on my feed. Indiana Pacers get Ivica Zubac and Kobe Brown, while the Clippers get Benedict Mathurin, the Pontiac Kid, Isaiah Jackson. 2 first-round picks. Protected pick in here. A 29 first-round pick and a second-round pick. So the Pacers basically just went and got Zubac. They're going to continue tanking because there's no way you're giving me your protected top pick if you're not going to keep tanking. So the Pacers are going to keep tanking, but next year, oh my goodness. Benedict Mathurin in the Clippers threads is going to be interesting. They've been needing that 2 guard of scoring, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they have. I'm not going to say if I'm not mistaken if I know what the heck I'm talking about. But, yeah, I feel like Benedict Mathurin, one of the better young guards in the NBA, can score the ball, is intense. And, yeah, he'll be starting for these guys because they, like I said, they've been needing, like I said, that 2 guard since Norman Powell went to Miami in the trade. Yeah, man, Benedict's going to be good. I feel like he's still super young. People forget he was not drafted that long ago. Ivica Zubac is going to be really good for this Pacers team once Hallie comes back next season. They're going to tank. They go get Darren Peterson and AJ Debance. Even a Boozer. And then you still have Neesmith. You still have Nembhard. You still have Pascal Siakam. You still have Jay Huff and them off the bench. This team next year is coming back on fire. Just watch. Hallie's going to come back with a vengeance. You're going to give him another big who can be a lob threat, a defender, can average 16-plus points per game, and be way more effective than a Miles Turner. That's just something I have to say. Zubac is way more effective than a Miles Turner. He's going to rebound the basketball. Like Zubac this season, he's averaging 14 and 11. That's all you need, but Halliburton's going to make that more because of his passing ability. I'm not saying that James Harden wasn't, but just watch. Halliburton is a guy who will average 18 and 11. He don't got to be that 25-point per game scorer like a Harden. He going to get his teammates involved and make everybody on that team look good. Malachi Branham to the Hornets for Tyus Jones. So I was talking all this. I told you. Tyus Jones to the Mavs. He gonna help Cooper Flag out. Malachi Branham to the Hornets, another wing who can shoot the ball. Hornets doing good. They active. And the final trade of the deadline is right here. Xavier Tillman is gone from the Celtics. He was really good when they won the championship. And the Celtics get money, cash considerations out of that trade. And yeah, man, that's every trade that happened within the last week or so. Of the trade deadline was today, like I said, at 3 p.m. And those are my thoughts. Who do I think are the biggest winners of trade deadline? I'm a really, yeah, my neighbor be tweaking. He be tweaking. I'm gonna look up biggest winners at the deadline. I'm gonna just look through this real quick. Nothing crazy. Biggest winners. Winner, Cleveland. Oh, this is on the same one. I just should have kept scrolling. Biggest winners. Cleveland, like I said, Cleveland's good. Zubac and a top 5 pick if they keep tanking. Good. Jazz loser. I'm asleep. Nope. I think that the Jazz will be good. My computer just died, but I think the Jazz are a winner. Bulls loser. Like I said, Pacers winner, Cavs winner. There's not many other. Hornets surprisingly were active. And yeah, man, that's all I got. Let me know if you like this form of content, which we will call analytics more so than a pod, but I'll still put it under the pod on YouTube. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all want in the comments. If y'all want some draft stuff, because I've been tapped in. I could talk about draft, anything basketball. Let me know in the comments below. But until next week or next time I post a video, because I like this type of stuff, just talking ball. I'm out of here. Hope y'all stay safe, stay warm in the cold. But yeah, man, got y'all on the next one. And peace.